Hi friends, it's Claire from ScrappyNerdUK and welcome to episode 1 of 6x6x6. This series is going to run over 6 weeks and hence the name. It is a 6x6 paper pad series. So just leading on from my Washi Wednesday series, I know how much you all enjoyed that. So I took some suggestions from you lovely people, and the consensus was you needed help with your 6x6 paper pads. If you're anything like me, then your 6x6 paper pads are probably overflowing and very rarely get used. So these videos, there are going to be 18 in total, are going to be designed to help you get your 6x6 paper pads out from the vault and used up on a layout. So episode 1 today is using your 6x6 paper pads for a grid layout. This is one of my favourite things to do with any sort of papers. I use Project Life cards as well to make grid layouts. That's another great way to use some Project Life cards up. But on this one, I've just cut down 2.5-inch squares from using Stay Colourful by Dear Lizzie. It's one of the newer collections that are out and I absolutely love it. I say I cheated a little bit. I didn't. I wanted to have something across the middle here. So I didn't want it to be a true grid layout. I wanted to break it up somewhere in the middle. So I broke it up with just incorporating these branding strips. And the branding strips from this collection are amazing. So I wanted to bring these in, and it brings the colours in from the pattern papers that I've used as well. Watch me mess around with these branding strips for ages, just trying to get them stuck down. And yeah, it's just a great way to use up what some people I know throw these away. Don't throw them away. They're a great source of embellishment on any scrapbook layout. So I've layered 3 of the branding strips just across the middle there, and these have some sentiments on, and just trimming off the side there. And I have gone with a navy cardstock. I do typically work on white, sometimes black, rarely any coloured cardstock. So during this series I am going to try and use some different coloured cardstocks that just in my stash, and they get overlooked because I do typically work on white. So I wanted to not only use the 6x6 paper pads to give you some inspiration, but I also wanted to use coloured cardstock to help you use that up if you have that hanging around in your stash as well. So the photograph that I've chosen to scrap is one of me when, I don't know, I must have been about 10 years old, I would think. And I used to love this dress. And I look back now and I think, in the 90s, I could have got away with that. I did get away with it to some extent. This layout is all about the fact that my uncle, whenever he saw me wearing this dress, would always say, "Have I got my mum's curtains on?" And it didn't stop me from wearing it. I still love the dress, and so I thought I would make a layout with me in this gorgeous dress. So I think I could get away with it now as well. I could call it vintage and still get away with it. I'm not sure. So I'm just going through the thickers from the collection, and I chose that Stay Colourful just to break up some of the blockiness of the squares. I incorporated that chipboard piece there because it was circular. And I'm just deciding where I want my 3 areas of embellishment. So I've chosen just above the photo, to the right above the branding strips, and then in that square at the bottom where I've put the Stay Colourful chipboard piece. Then I'm just going through the sticker sheet. Now I want to move this yellow colour around the page a bit more. So I've added that heart on top of the camera, and then I'm going to add that little memories word sticker above the Always Groovy chipboard piece. So just going through the ephemera, and the ephemera that I use on this, there's no rhyme or reason why I use the ephemera. That bird there does get trialled, but it doesn't end up making the final layout. And I've really sort of come to the conclusion that you know, some of the pieces of ephemera in here, I'm sure there's a toucan or a pelican or something in this collection. There's a cat mermaid. I mean, I'm never ever going to have photographs with any of that on in order for me to use these pieces of ephemera if that's what I've been waiting for. So I just embrace it and I go with it. And yeah, I add in that rain check ticket stub. I add in that little ice cream. I add in an umbrella. I'm really not fussed. And I think that is going to be the best way to actually get your supplies used up. Not worry too much about what relevance they have to the photo. Just get them on a page, and nobody's going to be looking that close that's going to say, well, there's no relevance of an umbrella on this layout. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. And that is the philosophy that I'm going with. I want to get my collections used. I want to get them down onto a page. And I'm really not worrying about whether they bear any relevance to the photo. So I'm just using some wet glue on a couple of these pieces. Sometimes I use double-sided tape, sometimes I use wet glue. Wet glue does seem to be a lot easier, especially if you're wanting to move pieces of ephemera around before you actually commit. So I'm just coming in with some puffy stickers. I love that little rainbow, so I added that on top of the chipboard piece. I added the camera at the top there above the memories, and because I've got one umbrella, I wanted to carry the theme on, and that's why I placed that other little puffy umbrella, which is so sweet, to the right hand cluster there. So the alphas that I am using here are from the I think they're from the Auburn Lane collection, from Pink Paisley. And I just love them. They're little gold foil. I love the mini alphas that are out at the moment. And I saved you the boredom of watching me move those all around. So the title of this layout is Mum's Curtains. Now, although I don't add any journaling on, I do think I will go back and add just a little white space or type some up and add it on, just to explain the story of this layout. And then the last couple of finishing touches, I wanted to add in some more white on this, and I wanted to bring in some of these tiny word stickers from Tim Holtz from my stash. And yeah, I'm just going to add in some enamel dots from my stash as well. And this is pretty much it. So I just add a couple into each cluster, just using the colours that are in the collection already. One into the centre of that camera, which I quite like the effect of. And then some over here, and I use the enamel dots in the centre of the flowers on these tags. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed episode 1, and stay tuned for episode 2 on Wednesday. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Leave any comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye!